It's now time for the morning show on XL7-TV.
Welcome to the morning show on XL7-TV. I'm Bob Rectenwald. This is Scooter.
Whoop whoop.
Scott Kelly.
How are you, sir?
Well, how much time you got?
What day is it today?
It'd be Monday.
It'd be a Monday again.
It'd be Monday.
Well, it's got to be boring having that many Mondays.
You know.
Every now and then it's good to have a Wednesday, hump day.
Every day's hump day. Got to get over that hump every day.
Every day.
Mowing has officially started.
Yeah.
Officially.
You mowing? You hitting all the jobs now, or just the select few that need it?
Oh no,
You're full bore.
if you're on my list, you're getting done if you like it or not.
There you go. Well, you got to. Some of them
get
still
a
got the
schedule
leaves
started, you know.
on there and stuff that's going to have to be mowed
As
down.
windy as it's been, Scooter, I haven't seen too many leaves.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'll be darned.
You know, you look at it, we've had 3 or 4 days in the last little bit that we've had 25 to 35 mile an hour winds.
True.
Leaves don't stand much chance in that.
I still got some in my yard, which is surprising, but
Yeah, you got lazy leaves.
lazy. I can see that.
They're
That's
comfortable
pretty good.
there.
I
They
can see
They don't
that.
want to leave. They're
They're lazy leaves.
it's like all them kids you got hanging around there.
Yeah, no kidding. We will never be empty nesters.
Change your nest.
And we just keep changing the kids.
A new bunch keeps rolling in.
Keep rolling in, and the old bunch rolls out, and new bunch comes in.
We had a busy night last night.
Did you?
Yep.
Mowing?
Oh yeah. But like I said, you've got to get your schedule started at some point, or
Yep.
everybody gets all jumbled up, and it just won't happen. It just don't.
Got to
work
get
that way.
into a routine.
Got to get the old routine going. So,
Well, there you go. You've
But-
been waiting for this, so.
oh, I'm ready. How about you? Anything exciting?
Nothing really big.
Nothing. Big?
Nothing exciting in my life.
How's the gnome?
Noma's doing good. I get pictures every day,
Every day.
but I hadn't seen her for a little while, so we're gonna
It's
have to
about that
fix
time,
that.
huh?
And it's, yeah, you get starting to get those urges. You got to see the
Be careful how
gnome.
you doing that.
End up hurting my neck.
Easy with that tweaking over there.
End up messing with my neck again.
It'll fall right out. Wouldn't be good.
No, not at all.
We probably should get started
Sure, why not?
before I end up telling you a joke.
Yep, and here we go. Hospice of the Ozarks.
Morning prayer is brought to you by Hospice of the Ozarks. 870-508-1771 is their number. Been serving Baxter, Marion County since 1979. They'd be glad to serve you as well. Greg Wood and his staff do a wonderful job. Pick up your phone, give them a call, talk to them about hospice care. 870-508-1771. Now the morning prayer. Lord, just thank you for the day that you've given us. Lord, we just pray that you will continue to lead, guide, direct us, and keep us safe. Lord, we just pray for the troops that are fighting in conflicts overseas. Lord, we just pray that those will end and they will come home soon. Lord, we just thank you for all that you do for us in our lives. Lord, we just pray that you will be with our firefighters, our first responders, our policemen, and all those that are involved in our daily safety. Lord, we just pray for our students, our faculties, and all those involved in raising our children. Lord, we just thank you for what you do for us each day. And it's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
The morning prayer is brought to you by Hospice of the Ozarks, 870-508-1771. We'll be back after a quick word from Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty.
Hi, I'm Bob Zadora, the Z-Team. I'd like to share something with you. Our team didn't need to reach everyone to be considered successful. We only needed the power of one. One person who was delighted with the way they were treated, helping them to reach their real estate goals. One person who told another person, who told another, and so on. So if you're ready to buy or sell real estate, the Z-Team would like to be your one. Give us a call, 870-405-0793, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. It's time for lake levels, dam reports, and all the weather updates brought to you by Bob and Linda Zador, the Z-Team. Century 21 Lee Mack Realty. 870-405-0793 is their number. Retiredtoarkansas.net is their website. Go there, click on live views, and this is what you see. We're back to black and white.
I don't get it because on Tuesdays and Thursdays it's color. I don't know what it is. I don't get it. Yesterday was nice, pretty colored. You get black and white.
It's racist. It's racist.
I looked. I was like, "Oh, this is getting to be funny."
It is a little darker this morning than what it's been the last couple of days, though. So we'll let that happen.
I will say that yesterday was a lot brighter outside. And
yeah, Monday was as well. We had color on Monday, so
okay. So there you got some color.
it's not totally one-sided.
Now the other camera, it's color.
It is color,
And
and that I don't understand that.
What's that?
Why is that color and the other one not?
This one stays color. It's a different kind of camera.
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't
The other
switch
one's a
between
cheap camera.
It's not cheap. None of them's cheap. Trust me. We'll go to this one here.
What you're looking at is the White River that separates Marion County, Arkansas from Baxter County, Arkansas. The city of Cotter is there straight ahead. The baseball field with the city park there to your lower left. The Rainbow Bridge to your left. Behind it is the Trellis Bridge for the railroad tracks. City of Mountain Home is far to your right. In front of that is the city of Gassville. Straight ahead is the cloud.
Yeah, it was resetting.
Straight ahead is the state of Missouri, and over to your left around that bend would be the city of Bull Shoals. It's the beautiful White River. Just pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I bet there's not too many fishermen going to be out there this afternoon when the winds are so heavy.
Oh, you may be surprised. There's going to be some diehards.
That's a pretty good looking shot there.
Yeah, that is.
You can go to retiredtoarkansas.net, click on live views, see what's there. You can also click on MLS listings, see what's available in our area for sale. If you like something that you see, pick up your phone, give Bob and Linda Zador a call at 870-405-0793. I'm going to run through some temperatures as Scooter lets it click on through the Z-clips. Currently in Mountain Home at 64, Harrison is 65, Batesville is 63, Yellville 65, Marshall 66, Salem 63, Mountain View 66, Calico Rock 64, West Plains, Missouri 63, Springfield, Missouri 65, Poplar Bluff, Missouri 63, and St. Louis, Missouri is 64. Yeah. That's a lot of water.
It is.
Take a look at the radar. Currently on the radar, some rain going through Louisiana and the southeast corner of Texas. Got some snow going on up in Kansas. They were calling for snow last night in Springfield, Missouri.
Really?
Oh yeah, some heavy snow. Don't know if it actually happened, but they were calling for it. Heavy rain going up through Iowa, up into Minnesota, into Wisconsin. Arkansas is clear. Let's go ahead and zoom into the state of Arkansas. And as you can see, from Rogers to Blyville, Fayetteville, over to Jonesboro, Batesville to Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Hot Springs, Pine Bluff. A little bit of rain up in Rogers area later on this morning. A little bit of rain going to happen, probably happening right now around Texarkana, some in Little Rock. But other than that, our area is definitely clear, but going to be windy. And as you can see on the national scene, they've got some high wind advisories, red flag warnings, some cold, mostly just winds. Fire watches, lots of wind. Did I mention anything about the wind?
It's going to be windy.
It's going to be windy. 7-day forecast, high today 68 and dropping after lunch today. Mostly sunny and then plenty windy. Slight chance of rain, windy, then mostly cloudy and breezy. Low of 35 tonight. Tomorrow, high of 54, becoming sunny. Mostly clear tomorrow night, low of 34. Friday, high of 65, mostly sunny, mostly clear. Friday night, low of 40. High Saturday, 67 and sunny. Chance of rain showers on Saturday night, low of 48. High Sunday, 67 with showers likely. Next Monday, 62. Next Tuesday, 68. Lake levels and dam reports. Lake Norfolk, 553.85, which is 1.85 above full pool of 552. Currently running one generator at this time. Bull Shoals, 658.95, which is .05 below full pull of 659. Currently running 2. That's the lake levels. Dam reports and all the updates brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team. Century 21 Lee Mack Realty. 870-405-0793 is their number. Retiredarkansas.net is their website. These are realtors you can recommend to your friends. They're busy, but never too busy to assist you. Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team. We'll be right back.
When the acres add up, so does the work. The Kubota LO2 Series is ready for it. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience, it features powerful, dependable Kubota diesel engines, performance-matched attachments, and the versatility to get the job done right.
For all your Kubota needs, visit Ozarks Farm and Lawn in Mountain Home.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. It's time for community news and happenings brought to you by Ozarks Farm and Lawn, the dealership that deals. 870-425-3434, Highway 62 Southwest at Buford Road. You'll know you're there.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
No.
There's no way of missing them.
No. You know, I figure with all the rain that we've had this year, and we didn't have a bad winter. You know, it wasn't super cold for very long. It's going to be a big hay season this year.
That'd be good. Be good. They need that.
So if you need some hay equipment, go by Ozarks Farm and Lawn. They've got tractors, all different size tractors. They've got cutters, tedders, rakes, balers, round bales, square bales. If you got a unit that's down, take it by there, let them fix it for you. If you know what's wrong with it, or at least think you know what's wrong with it, go by and buy your parts there. If you're looking for new equipment, they've got the stuff for you. They've got some construction equipment there now, some excavators, some mini X's, some skid steers, backhoes, and trailers.
They do. They got some pretty cool trailers. The whole bed of it drops down. It's pretty neat.
RTVs.
They do. They got RTVs.
Zero turns.
Yep.
All kinds of stuff. Let's see what's happening. Let's see, the next monthly meeting for the Baxter County Master Gardeners will be April the 10th, and that will be at the First Presbyterian Church at 1106 Spring Street. And those meetings are from 1 to 3 each month. Their plant sale is coming up. Their plant sale will be April the 26th. The doors will open at 9 o'clock. This is at Baxter County Fairgrounds, and they will close when all the plants are sold, which is usually within the hour. So if you're going to go there, get there early. Let's see what else we got here, Scooter. Somebody wrote on this paper. Oh, my goodness. Hollie's going to be mad. The Military Service Sisters have their luncheon March the 28th at Holy Smokes Barbecue. That'll be at 12 o'clock noon. And Second Amendment Legacy Foundation will be having their fundraiser banquet, which will be on Friday, April the 18th at 5:30 at Baxter County Fairgrounds at 1507 Fairgrounds Drive. If you're looking for tickets, give Bo Trammell a call at 870-402-9002 or join the Baxter call at 870-424-3535. This will benefit all the shooting sports in the area, keep the Second Amendment alive, which we got some raffle stacks at $250, raffle stack at $500, tables available at $1,000 and $2,000. Single dinner ticket is $50, and a dinner for two is $90. So there we go. What else we got?
I do want to mention Cast for Kids. It's coming up on April 12th. If anybody's got a kid with special needs, this is a great opportunity to go out and do some fishing and just have a good time. Don't need to bring anything. They supply the tackle box and the fishing pole and all the stuff that you need. They are looking for volunteers as well. Every kid needs to have a volunteer with them. So if you're wanting to give back and help a little bit, or if you've got a kid that's wanting to get involved, you can go to McCabe Park at castforkids.org or give Christy West a call, 870-632-9498. It's a great thing. It really is. But if you want to get signed up, you better get on it, because last year they had 19 and this year their cutoff is 20. So it's gonna grow even more this year. So.
Well, let's see if there's anything worth talking about here. Corps of Engineers under a hiring freeze. That's exciting news, especially at the camping time of the year. Red Cross is looking for blood donations in preparation for future disasters. What else we got? Yeah, just not a whole lot. See if there's anything to talk about in sports. The Mountain Home soccer team got swept at Siloam Springs yesterday. The Mountain Home Bombers baseball team beat Siloam Springs 11-4 yesterday. And the girls softball team, I believe they run ruled them, and they won 13-2, which is pretty good news. So both the baseball team and the softball team are both undefeated at this time.
Awesome.
The Lady Bomber JV team is 3-2, and Izard County ended up beating Cotter in softball yesterday. Last year I had Megan McBride on here, presented her with a 400 strikeout plaque. She had 13 strikeouts yesterday against Cotter. Pretty exciting. So, anyway, we'll wrap that up. Community News and Happenings brought to you by Ozarks Farm and Lawn, the dealership that deals. 870-425-3434. We'll be back in just a moment.
Your senior healthcare specialist is VACO Insurance in Mountain Home. Retired law enforcement and disabled veteran owner Frank VACO and staff can help you with all your insurance needs. VACO Insurance provides coverage for most carriers in the area, such as Medicare, Affordable Care Act, individual, or any other health or life insurance options. With over 13 years experience and agents in multiple areas and locations throughout northern Arkansas and southern Missouri, VACO Insurance is the right choice to handle all your insurance needs. That's VACO Insurance, located in Mountain Home.
For all things glass, contact the professionals at Clear Results Glass in Mountain Home. Whether you're needing a rock chip repair or a full windshield replacement, Clear Results Glass can take care of all of your automotive glass needs with fast turnarounds at competitive prices. They service business and residential customers and can custom cut any glass or provide you with the right fit for your home windows, sliding doors, commercial glass, or even a frameless shower enclosure. Contact Clear Results Glass today for a quote or to schedule your next glass project. That's Clear Results Glass, located in Mountain Home.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
Oh, honey, we've had such a wonderful vacation here in the Ozarks. I really hate to go home.
I know. The lakes, the rivers, they've all been great for fishing. Oh, and the boating and the swimming.
And the people are so nice in the stores and restaurants.
Let's call an agent and see if we can make Mountain Home our new home.
Call the Z-Team, 870-405-0793. Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East, Mountain Home.
870-405-0793. Hello, Z-Team?
When you're
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. It's the third Wednesday of the month. That means Dan Hall and Hollie Scoma are here, and we're going to talk veteran stuff. How are y'all?
Busy.
Seems like you were just here.
Yeah. Very busy.
Very busy.
Yeah.
Doing what?
We just had an event down in Little Rock for the Ladies' Day Out.
So we had a bunch of VA, and they are called partnerships as well, so like the state, but all of us were there, and we did a bunch of events and little things, and it was nice.
How did the town hall go?
It went well.
Yeah.
I had
So
to
well.
kind of laugh. I always get there early, and Dr. Moore, who's taken over and operating that whole thing, he and his team were coming in, and they got inside, and it was like 40 minutes early, and there were a few people sitting in the
Already,
courtroom.
yeah.
And I said, well, I hope we have a big enough venue here. He said, we already have more people than we used to. He said they did one down in Little Rock, and 4 people showed up. One of them was an employee.
Oh my!
So we had 76 veterans show up. We pretty much packed the courtroom. And they were not just veterans there to complain or whatever. They had input and wanted answers, and it was a pretty good meeting.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But they walked off impressed with Mountain Home, as they always do. So
It seems to be the norm.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They walked away with a lot of comments about how we do things here, and how that they could possibly implement things elsewhere around the state because of how we are running things. So that's always nice to hear. Like I said, Mountain Home is doing big things that the rest of the nation needs to copy. So
Because we're so far away from everything, you know.
That's part
it's
of it.
so convenient to do anything here.
And our community works real well together. We her and I work well together. You know, she works for the state, I work for veterans, and just,
You work for Dan.
Yeah. And all of our veteran service officers and veterans organizations and city and county, HR, we all work together with Baxter Regional. And sometimes we come up with some initiatives that work. Our suicide prevention program took off and is kind of the talk of the whole country at times. Similarly, we a little bit of a different transportation. We now can get treatment right here in Mountain Home. They can be referred from the clinic directly over to Baxter Health or to specialists and what have you. There's a little red tape involved and phone calls to get approval, but what that means is we only need one van to go 1 or 2 days a week to Little Rock. The second van that we were operating under the east side of the county, we pulled that back, and normally what we would do is sell that to some church group or organization that needs it, and then use that money to buy a new one.
Mm-hmm.
We're not needing to buy a new one right now, so we brought that extra van back and titled it here locally and insured it. It's kind of not under the VA anymore, so that we can use that for local transportation. When Ashley's people over at the clinic arrange an appointment with a specialist and there's a transportation issue, we've got a list of 6 or 8 members of the DAV they can call, and we'll use that van to transport. So when VA saw that, I said, well, what an idea. We might look at that around the state. I only fought with them for 3 months to get it done. So
They didn't want to give up that asset.
no, they wanted us, if we brought the van back, they kind of wanted us to keep it under their transportation volunteer system, so they got credit for all the miles and people that we, but that's such a burden on our local drivers to have to go down there to get fingerprinted and get signed up, and they make it difficult for a veteran to volunteer.
Isn't that the norm?
Well, yeah, so we just got out from underneath of that.
But again, I think it's even more difficult with our location, so being so far away from the city, and so like none of the fingerprinting or IDs or background checks or things are able to be done locally. All of them have to be done in like a larger city. So again, it's all 2 or 3 hours away.
Like they don't have any ink at the sheriff's office.
Well, that's the whole, I argued that for a long time. Why can't we do the physical here? Well, we got past that. And I got down to the background check, and I got down to the fingerprints. And the final holdup on fingerprints was they had to come to Little Rock or Fayetteville for that. I said, I got 5 agencies right here in Mountain Home that can do electronic fingerprints for federal government. They do it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the whole trick is they have these 2 organizations that are contracted to do that by VA, and so they don't want to violate the contract.
then they should send somebody over here to do it.
Exactly.
Well,
Send
again-
a contractor up here, we'll be glad to line them up.
Well, sending them up here for like the town hall shows how hard of like a drive it is for them. And they're like, oh, that drive, it's exhausting and I'm tired. And, you know, this is only going to be an hour-long meeting. But we drove 3 hours and now we got to drive 3 hours back. And we're like,
Yeah, do it
we
for
know.
a 15-minute doctor appointment.
And
Yeah.
we know. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. Like, so I think them having that little hurdle to kind of come and see us, like, it helps them see what the veterans are going through for a lot of it. But again, they were so appreciative of the things our community is doing. They were like, we haven't seen this. But again, because we're so isolated, we have to support each other and make things work. And it's just a testament to this community.
How long has the CBOC been here?
Oh, my word.
A while.
Wow, what an answer.
A while.
For at least 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah, at
Wow.
least.
And that made a big difference in how the veterans were handled and how their treatment was handled. Is that right?
It did, and what we're working on now is to get rid of the contract clinic and have it a VA facility. Not that the contract people aren't doing a really good job, they are. The problem is that your primary care providers, your doctors and what have you, they're not VA employees. And so they come and go pretty quickly. If you had a VA facility, it actually changes an awful lot of things, including the benefits that a doctor would only have to be employed for 5 years and he'd have some vesting into the federal retirement system. There's little things like that that would make it real advantageous to have an actual VA clinic as opposed to a contract clinic.
And that was one of the things a lot of our veterans brought up is a new facility and building, and they would like to see a full VA clinic, not a contracted CBOC here. So, but that was one of the things that the director said that he was working on. So,
And yet, from the positive side of the people at the CBOC have done a really good job of getting ahead of things. And God, we started this thing, we only treated about 1,500 veterans at that clinic. We're up to about 4,500, I think, now. And they keep adding things to it.
Is healthcare one of the most used benefits for veterans?
One of the most used, well, it depends. There's probably home mortgages.
yeah, home mortgages
would be more as far as
are the top.
Really?
It's because it's eligibility, because most veterans are eligible for it. So, but there's
maybe only 20% of veterans who serve are actually eligible for health care per se.
Yeah.
But they're all eligible for VA home loans and education benefits. So, no.
But all of our benefits are widely used. So, like, honestly, there are a lot of people who are enrolled in healthcare and then not enrolled in benefits, but it also works vice versa, where there's a lot of people enrolled in benefits but choose not to use VA healthcare. So it all just depends.
And it's
But our
changing.
healthcare here is, like Dan said, our CBOC is wonderful. They do a lot, so.
And it's changing all the time. Veterans that weren't eligible for benefits, for example, 15 years ago, even 5 years ago, may be eligible for some now. We've got a list of 20 presumptive illnesses or diseases that they now believe are caused by Agent Orange exposure. I can remember that list was like 3. So.
Yeah, sorry, Scooter was making noise.
Oh, Scooter.
What is with Scooter's always doing that?
I know.
That's the meteorologist.
Yes. But yeah, so VA has a lot of changes and a lot of things that they're going through, and especially with all of the new leadership and revamping of things. So it's a lot of changes that are coming and happening. So we're just kind of waiting and seeing. So the Elizabeth Dolac is a big newest one. And we talked about that last time, but again, they're starting to roll out some of those guidances and how it's going to be done and training. And so our State Department is trying to make sure we're staying on top of that and that we're seeing how we can help implement and get veterans the knowledge for the things. So it's a lot.
I had asked Hollie a couple weeks ago when we had our quarterly suicide prevention partnership meeting, because of this Elizabeth Dole Act, when what that was, it wasn't a separate piece of legislation. There were like 17 or 18 acts, pieces of bills and what have you that had been laying around dying on the vine, and they suddenly threw all them into a bucket and passed some omnibus bill, the Elizabeth Dole Act. And it's got a little bit of everything, and it's very confusing, 200 and some pages. So I asked Holly if she would take the time to kind of break it out, what is going to be new. And
let's talk about that right after the break.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We'll be right back.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as it would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite, climate-controlled, and air-filtered boarding facility in the area, with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
Providing caring, compassionate services at an affordable price is our goal at Connor Family Funeral Home. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that treats our friends and neighbors just like family, with a wide range of services and options to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area. Connor Family addresses all the details with no hidden fees, so you can rest assured that you are treated like family for a more personalized and worry-free service. That's Connor Family Funeral Home, where compassion and affordability meet, located in Mountain Home.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the Mountain Home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Dan Hall, Hollie Scoma here. We're talking veteran stuff. Dan, you mentioned the Elizabeth Dole Act. Let's talk about that.
Well, I'd said that I'd ask her to do a quick presentation, general overview of what's going to be coming, because VA, as she mentioned, is reactive. These bills pass, and then they decide how they're going to implement them. But she broke it out into areas and provided something that I could then give to my veteran service officers so they can inform people. But there's areas involving caregivers, women veterans, students and aspiring professionals, veterans needing assisted living, severely ill and aging veterans, National Guard and reservist coverage, suicide prevention, emergency medical care, in-home primary care, employment issues, and all of those are included in that act. And she kind of broke that out into something that you can almost understand. 2.5 pages for a 200-page bill is not bad.
Hollie, how do you stay on top of all that stuff?
I'm very tired.
More out.
No, it was really funny because Dan called and he was like, hey, can you just do this real quick? And I was like, do you know what that is. And like I started explaining it, and I was like, you know what? Yes, I'll do it. And then when I brought up like how many pages and how many things, and because it's not all like centrally located still, so it's all very much like kind of like a hodgepodge of things, and it's not broken out in those categories. It just has what the bills are and what they cover. And so it's very much like, oh, okay, like this covers this, and so I had to like go through and like make lists and do the things. And I was telling him, I was like, took me like 8 hours, but it's okay. I read it all and now I understand it. And he was like, why did you do that? And I was like, there was no easy.
Asked,
I was like, but there was no easy way to do it. It was not broken down like that. So, but again, it's one of the things that if we don't understand it, how are we supposed to explain it to veterans as well? And so it only helps our veteran service officers, like Dan said, our organizations, like all of those things. So, but again, it was just super. He was like, just real quick, and I was like,
typical government stuff. It's 285 pages that don't need to be 285 pages.
Yeah.
Well, each of the bills have their own criteria and have their own names and things like that underneath the Elizabeth Dole Act. So again, it's
And you have all those acronyms to remember.
yeah, and break out and who passed them and who originally put them forward, and so.
But there's a lot of new things like that happening, and we keep encouraging veterans to stay in touch with your county veteran service officer and your service organizations, because it's changing all the time. Like I said, we had, back when I first started this thing in the mid-'80s, we had about 3 different things that, actually we had nothing that they would admit was caused by Agent Orange. Now we have 20 presumptive illnesses and injuries that are compensatable. And as a matter of fact, I just got something new yesterday in the mail. The VA is putting out this Agent Orange newsletter. It's quite informative, and I would encourage all Vietnam era veterans to just go up online and look for Agent Orange newsletter from VA. And they
For the youngsters out there that have no idea what Vietnam was or Agent Orange is, what is Agent Orange?
Agent Orange was a defoliant that they used to kill jungle so we could find the bad guys. And they argued for years that it was harmless to people, but we kept having people be sick and dying from diseases and causes. Diabetes, for example, they believe it's caused prostate cancer, respiratory cancers, all kinds of different things. And they argued for years. Whenever there was a guy, we had dubbed him Dr. Orange. He was an expert that kept testifying for the VA and the Defense Department that it was harmless. That was around 1984, and they swore by it. And at the same time, those 2 federal agents who were arguing that it was harmless, the EPA was evacuating Tyne Beach, Missouri, and closed down a whole city because some of that stuff got into the oil they used on the road one time. So we've been fighting these fights a long time.
Yeah, they wiped out that whole little city in the 70s, didn't they?
In the 80s.
It was pretty much the 70s, because I drove through there several times in the late 70s.
Really?
Yeah, sure enough. But anyway, it closed it down.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't even started using any of that again.
Yeah, I don't know what the status of it is now, but they basically, I guess, bought everybody out and closed the city down. And
wow.
But again, it like goes to show, like Dan was saying, like back even before, none of these things were considered a VA disability. And they had many people that were having them. And so now, if you have any of those issues and you had applied before they denied it, now, if you were to apply, you wouldn't even have to have new evidence, just have that you have the condition and that you were in Vietnam, and then VA can concede and be like, yes, you do have this. But again, that's where a veteran service officer could help you navigate those things. But in addition to Agent Orange, because our Vietnam veterans helped and fought so hard for those things, that only helped us post 9/11 veterans for all of our stuff for burn pits. So in Iraq and Afghanistan, we had a lot of environmental exposures.
What is a burn pit?
So a burn pit is essentially just a pit that they used to burn all of a bunch of hazardous waste, chemicals, bio waste, like just all the things while we were deployed, because there was no landfills or things like that contracted. So they would put everything there and burn it, including sometimes fuel, like it was everything. So it'd create these really thick plumes of smoke over the whole base. And so like while you're in the desert, you normally wore like some kind of protecting to cover you from sand and things like that. But again, that didn't protect us from all of that hazard. So it's just like, that's one of the things. So from that became all of our burn pit presumptives. So from Agent Orange and them doing that work. So again, it only has helped our veterans, and there's a ton of different things that they have.
When they passed that PACT Act that brought all those things in, there was a couple 100,000 new claims almost immediately.
It's over 2.4 million, I think they said this past month, of PACT Act claims. So 2.4 million veterans have been affected and have had some kind of claims or illness or injury from those things related to either Agent Orange or post 9/11.
And although oftentimes VA seems slow to respond, eventually these things happen. And compared to even 5 or 6 years ago, the benefits available to our local veterans it's like night and day dealing with the VA. So if you're out there and you haven't updated your claim or talked to your county veteran service officer in a while, call him, make an appointment, visit with him or her.
Do the benefits die with the veteran?
Not necessarily.
It
for
depends.
example, the Blue Water Navy, when that happened was when they finally made certain things presumptive to exposure to Agent Orange. Well, then they had to come up with how do you know whether they were exposed, and originally you had to submit an affidavit that on a certain date this plane flew over and dropped a cloud of, well, they got away from that, and if you were in country, boots on the ground during this period of time, it would be presumed that you were exposed. Well, that left what we called the Blue Water Navy that was not in port, didn't go up the Saigon River, and were just out at sea, maybe 5, 6, 8 miles out. They were excluded. They were denied claims. And that fight went on for 50 years until the case went to the U.S. federal court. I think it was Proposio versus the VA. And they won that case, and all of a sudden they had to go back 50 years to all these people who had filed claims that were denied. Many of them were deceased. Their dependents were eligible to file claims for those benefits. And some of them got pretty hefty payouts.
Yeah, but again, there's tiers to all of these things, and there's different eligibility requirements. So what one veteran might have and they say, hey, you should file because I'm 100%, doesn't mean necessarily the next person is, because it all depends on your records and what you did and where. But again, that's where a veteran service officer can help you. And so you do have options. You have your local organizations like DAV, American Legion. They have headquarters offices within the states as well. So state DAV, things like that can file claims, as well as you have your state agencies. So your Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs, or if you're in Missouri, that commission. And then you also have your counties within the state. So not every state has counties. Some of them will have districts, but again, we have our county veteran service officers throughout our 75 counties in Arkansas.
And Dan, who is our county veteran service officer?
Charlie Leonard is our local guy. His phone number is 870-425-8155. But if you're hearing me and you're not in Baxter County, you're in Marion or Fulton or whatever, and you don't know your county veteran service officer, call your county judge. He can tell you who he works. That's who he works for. But on these things, I try desperately to get veterans to stay in touch. And I use myself as an example. I'm 70% disabled, according to the VA. Every claim I ever filed with the VA was initially denied. And so when you file, you have a better chance of getting something done the first time around if you go through your county veteran service officer. But if it's denied, appeal. And if that's denied, appeal. Always keep it active, because all of a sudden one day Congress passes an act that says this particular thing is covered, and you have an open claim. you can, oftentimes those benefits go back to the original claim date. So stay in touch, and they're doing a better and better job, but still mistakes are made, and you need to talk to somebody that knows what they're doing. You say, well, why are these things denied initially? Well, because each one of your adjusters maybe does 120, 125 cases a day that they review. And they look for keywords and phrases from a doctor or key boxes to be checked. And if they're not checked, it's just an automatic denial. So you come back and get another look at it. So
It's time for an automatic break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Even on the most perfect day, the unexpected can happen. But with just one call to their local Red Ribbon expert at Overhead Door, they can get their garage door fixed or replaced in a jiffy.
Call Overhead Door Company of North Arkansas today in Mountain Home. Experience the best in Mexican dining. Letty's in Gassville. Voted numerous times as the best Mexican restaurant in the Twin Lakes area. Come out for delicious breakfast served all day. Or enjoy an authentic Mexican lunch or dinner. $1.49 tacos on Thursday. 10% discount for seniors every day. No time? Call Letty's and have your to-go order waiting for you. And don't forget, Letty's also provides catering for small parties, weddings, holidays, or big events. The best Mexican restaurant in the Twin Lakes area. Letty's in Gassville.
Well, folks, have you been trout fishing before?
Not since I was a little kid.
You'll do fine.
Hey, what are you doing?
Aren't you coming along?
See you downriver.
How do you start this motor? I've never been in a boat before.
See you downriver.
Well, folks, have you sold a house before?
Yeah, about 30 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, well, you'll be okay then.
You sure?
Where are you going?
See you at the closing.
Hey!
At the closing.
We should have called the Z-Team.
When the acres add up, so does the work. The Kubota LO2 series is ready for it. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience, it features powerful, dependable Kubota diesel engines, performance-matched attachments, and the versatility to get the job done right.
For all your Kubota needs, visit Ozarks Farm and Lawn in Mountain Home. Your senior
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Dan Hall, Arkansas Department of Disabled American Veterans. Hollie Scoma, Women Veterans Coordinator, Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs.
Yeah.
Plus. What's coming up?
Oh, well, Disabled American Veterans Auxiliary meeting this afternoon at 1 o'clock. We're having some special people come in. Our auxiliary is trying to put together a simplified kind of a push cart or trifold that has all of the resources that directly affect at-risk veterans and at-risk people for suicide and so on. So we're working on that. That program keeps growing with new ideas. Let's see. Of course, the 18th of April, we have our Second Amendment Legacy Foundation banquet over at the fairgrounds. We're selling that out pretty quickly. I've got Associate Justice Sean Womack, Arkansas Supreme Court, is going to be there as a guest speaker. Attorney General Tim Griffin bought a table. State Senator Flippo sponsored a table. So pretty much everybody who's involved in government locally will be there. And then the 9th of May is our annual Veterans Benefit Fair at the fairgrounds from 11 to 1. And anybody who provides benefits to veterans that wants to participate and show up as a vendor, we've got space for them. Get a hold of Charlie Leonard, 870-425-8155, and let him know you want to come. Then the 26th is Memorial Day on the square, and that following weekend, the 31st, is the Ultimate Car Show benefiting veterans. And as soon as we get done with that...
Is that going to be a 2-day show this year?
I don't think so. They talked about it, but I don't know the details on that yet. But They just show it for the 31st right now, which I think is Saturday. And then the following week, we're in Little Rock for our Disabled American Veteran Service Officer training on the 5th, and then the state convention on the 6th and 7th. Then we start working on our big outreach picnic. We expect to do a little more this year. It grows every year, but this year is kind of special because it's the 20th anniversary of our program, and it's grown from maybe feeding 100 veterans to feeding 800. And also, this year is the 75th birthday of our local chapter of DAV. DAV Chapter 30 is 75 years old this year.
Nice.
I wasn't there the day it started, but I was close behind. So.
Holly, what you got coming up?
So because I'm over the whole state, we have a lot of state events going on. So we are opening our military service sisters down in Benton and Bryant. So we're going to be up to 9 chapters for military service sisters around the whole state, as well as we are going to go and we have a Fort Smith Veteran Benefit Fair that I'll be at and talking. We have our Veteran Benefit Fair in Baxter. We also have one in Fulton that's going to be later on this year. And we're doing a women's kayaking trip. So we'll be doing that the day after as well.
By golly.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. It's everywhere. So, but again, because I serve the whole state, there's a lot of things that are outside this area that I'll be doing. But again, we still have our military service sisters monthly meetings here. We also have our Harrison group that's close by. So any of those, but we just have a lot of like veteran benefit fairs around this whole state. So gearing up for all of those, and then we're working on our summit for women veterans in October.
Has Marion County got a new veteran service officer yet?
They have. So he's still in training, but they do have a veteran service officer. So they also can find their veteran service officer. If you are tech savvy, you can go to veterans.arkansas.gov online, and under the Veteran Service tab, it says find your local VSO, and it has a whole directory. So it has the whole state, everyone listed, as well as your DVSOs and your county VSOs. So
a VSO.
A VSO, a Veteran Service Officer, district or county.
District or county.
Yeah.
Dan, I want to mention Times Beach one more time. You're very correct. It was like 82 to 85. 85, they unincorporated the city of Times Beach. The issues were found in the late 70s, and they started shutting buildings down.
It was in 84 when I got involved with it.
Yeah, 85 is when they actually shut it off. But I remember as a kid going through there in the late 70s and noticing that things were disappearing.
Yeah.
And that's ugly. Absolutely ugly.
We still have, she was talking about the women's service sisters and so on, and that was something that was started right here in Baxter County and became nationwide. We were also involved in, after we got our program going, we were invited to join a research grant together with veterans, that was a 3-year program. It's been over for a couple of years, but we're still highly active in it because we kind of led the country in some of the things, the initiatives that are going on. They ask us to remain involved and provide monthly stats, the data that they're collecting. And so we'll probably, I guess in September, be going out to Denver for their summit. You'll probably go to that too?
Probably. I'll be also doing our NASDVA and our NASWIC, which is our state directors and state women veteran coordinators conference. But again, like September and October for us is a lot of conferences and things around. But up until then, it's a lot of traveling around the state. So
we're kind of proud
we stay
about
busy.
home. A lot of things that we started here that are still going on nationwide and have worked.
Yeah.
The Second Amendment Legacy Foundation, which was started last year, you had your first banquet last year. You got your second annual is coming up April 18th, I believe. 5:30 at the Baxter County Fairgrounds.
Yes, yeah.
How many people will attend that?
Oh gosh, a couple hundred. I've already sold 15, 18 tables. We're planning on having about 40 tables total. lot of help from the junior ROTC. We raised enough money last year and it all stayed right here in our area. We gave away almost $30,000 into these youth programs. We provided the money for the precision air rifles they use for national competition, that they're involved with marksmanship and doing real well. The CrossFitters and the Yellville youth trap shoot competitions, we've been able to donate to all of those, and they're all growing.
Hollie, your Military Service Sisters organization that you've got going, how big is it getting?
I would say quite big. So we continuously have grown since I've started with the program. So originally we started off with the one in Mountain Home.
So that started here?
That started here. That's our flagship. Our founder, Alicia Granis, started here. And then once I started doing it, me and Alicia had some talks, and I was like, how can we bring this to the rest of the state? And so since then, it's only been 2 short years, but we've already increased 8 other chapters. So,
Any other states picked up on that as well?
so we are in talks with Oklahoma, as well as Missouri, in our bordering states. But again, it's something that they mirrored in a couple other states, so they're not calling it Arkansas Military Service Sisters, of course. But again, they're doing something very similar.
How often do you meet?
So we meet monthly, but again, it's up to our chapters. So because they have that, where they're allowed to see how that would work within their town and their local area. So some of our chapters meet for dinner, some meet on Saturdays, some meet quarterly, some meet monthly. It all depends. So however we can help that veteran group meet their needs. So.
Dan, what else you got to throw out there?
I'm just about shot.
You're about thrown right out, are you?
Yeah, we're pretty covered up for the next month, and then it'll lighten up a little bit in June. July, and August won't be quite so bad. Just about
For
the same
him.
time that school's out. So yeah.
Hollie, your schedule stays the same?
Oh my God, it's so busy. So we have so many things, but again, it's we are unique in the sense that I cover the whole state. So it's not just a district or a tiny place for me or like a chunk. Like I'm the whole state of Arkansas, so I stay pretty busy. But again, a lot of our Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs, my coworkers also stay busy because we partner a lot with the VA, and wherever the VA is, we're trying to be. So making sure that our veterans know. Yeah, we always need help.
We need help, and it's one of those things we concentrate a lot on, helping veterans. We talk about filing claims, we can help you. We also need you to help us help other veterans. We have needs
Absolutely.
for drivers and, volunteer help. There are isolated veterans out there that are too proud to ask for help, but we have a pretty good system of finding them and helping them before they have a crisis.
If there's a veteran out there or somebody just wants to help, do they have to be a veteran?
Not
Somebody that
necess-
can give you a hand?
Oh, our auxiliary, you don't have to be a veteran to be involved with the DAV auxiliary. You don't have to be a veteran.
Who would somebody contact if they wanted to just
They could
lend
contact
a hand
me
once a week?
870-421-2322, and I can put them in touch with who was ever in charge of that at the time. Just happens my wife is the commander of the DAV auxiliary at the moment.
Okay. Hollie, how about your side?
So they can call me. So that's going to be 870-404-6944. But again, we have all kinds of events, so we could always use volunteers, and they don't necessarily have to be veterans, but we do have capacity for veterans as well. So if there are veterans who wish to help, but again, keep talking about things, because sometimes that's the way that people learn. So maybe my claim is different than yours, but it helps you get to where you need to go. So have those conversations with people.
Networking at its finest.
All the time.
Just talk.
All the time.
Could have guessed it.
What? I know.
Well, thank y'all for joining us once a month.
Yeah.
It's comes by quick.
It does.
And it's over already.
Aw.
You've been watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.